Da 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 da. Fanfare. Enter Trevor Joseph. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you for the welcome. You wanted to interview me? You want to know who is Trevor Joseph? Who is this Trevor Joseph? 1 point. You could know somebody in music by their works. You could figure them out by their works. See how they're doing counter melody, if they're clashing, different instrument clashing. See how they're doing see how they're doing dynamics. See how they're doing the harmony, how they're changing key from one key to the next to play the same tune. You could figure them out. Right? About me, I am the same Curtis Joseph. You hear about Trevor Joseph, and somebody said, I know that guy. I went to St. Benedict's Secondary School, called St. Benedict's College, with that guy. He's not Curtis Joseph. All right. I am the same Curtis Joseph. I went to St. Benedict's in 1962 in January. The school term used to start in January. And one morning in the first term, I go into the toilet. I hear one set of music playing, and I do so my eyes nearly pop out my head. Huh? I see 6 trumpeters sitting down on a bench, on the arm of a bench. I see about 3 saxophones. I found out was about 13 clarinet, a oboe, a bassoon, a long thing like a bamboo up in the air. French horn. Music, nice, I'm excited. What is this, boy? So every morning I will go across and listen to the band. How the band playing, and the major, a white man from England, Major Rupert Dennison. He came down from England. He earned that title in England during the war somewhere there. He came down. He was in charge of the police van. Somebody tell me he got privileges. Privileges is not the word I'm looking for. Prestige is the word I'm looking for. Because he was white. He was white. Well, boy, the best arrangement for Trinidad and Tobago anthem in 1962 come from Major Dennison. How we used to play it, we had certain things better than other places, other bands that playing it. Well, of course, if the director of the regiment band or the police band do something, he was a director of a band, learned things in England, right? And he came down. Well, that man was a maestro. I stopped there for about nearly 5 years. And I observed things. I look at his expression, how he doing the expression, different things in music. For example, at time this guy, Best Saxon, playing a march, and he playing sweet, sweet, sweet. Supposed to play a march, goes through like how you play an anthem, right? Ta 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 ta. He playing may just stop the band when we rehearsal. He said that's not for that. Well, I pick up that. Well, let me tell you something. If anybody or if nobody didn't get feelings and expression and music from Major Dennison, it didn't fall on nobody. It was like water on a duck's back. Well, me, it stick on my back. So for all them years, I observed him. Let me go back to when I now realize a band exists. A guy in class form one tell me, you could go and join the band, and I say, what? He say, yeah, you could go and tell the major I want to join the band. Well, I went the same day. Then I learn all this rudimental music, crotchet and quaver, and come back the same day. Right? Anyway, let me shorten up this. But this part. I end up in the band starting to play hymns. Well, in a way, hymns are the hardest thing to play because you can't crack no note. You have to play it smooth. And those days, hymns were called sacred music. You have to be afraid to touch the notes. That kind of way. So, okay. So I start trying to play. One day, some big boys, I figure out, how to read music. I say, oh, this telling you one note to play and this telling you how long to play the note. Nobody told me that. And I say, right. And I start to read a hymn, a Catholic hymn. And to me, that was very fast. To me, loudest on. Da 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 da. Right. So a big boy about 6 years older than me, I found out that later. He said, this little fella does amuse me. Come. He said, play out of me here, look, he reading music. The trumpeter, the main trumpeter, look, he reading music. So I go on and I start to play. Yeah. Then the main trumpeter tells me, he said, listen, not so, boy, you cannot put my lip right. Wow. He said, no, do your lip so, then do so. Yeah, and then blow now, blow clear now. He said, go and practice now. So I go and I start to practice. I tell him about me. Now, who is Trevor Joseph? Who is Trevor Curtis Joseph? That's what I am on here. I started practice behind the building one day. And I playing out, trying to play a popular tune, Minute in G. A version of Minute in G. Ba, 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 boom, boom, pidi, da, 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 da. Ba, da, 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 da. Ba, da, ah. Next thing I see the major watching me. And he calling me, busking. Busking means you're playing by ear without reading music. He didn't like that. Busking. Hey. Right? But later on, I figure out he come to see who doing that. Who that person will be a promising person to get in the band. He come to check that. Right? So he marking me and I didn't know. Right? So eventually, let me shorten it up. I started playing the band before I was 12. I was 11 years old. I am not aware, nobody told me anybody younger than me ever played in that band, that age. Our band was there later, found out about 5 years before me, before I came there. Right? So I started playing hymns. I could only read from hymns and then march, about 3 marches we had to play. One called Song of the Scouts, one was Happy Birthday, and one was Valerie Valera. Then the next one too, I can't remember. And listen now, we had tunic and thing, and I pretty tunic with cord and so on. They can't find a tunic, the smallest tunic too big for me. They had too big and all that. And they trying, anyway, we're going to play for Catholic Youth Parade in May. Well, when we finished play, the next day, school children telling me, or soon after, Curtis, you make the papers. Curtis, you make the Guardian. I say, what? How I make the Guardian? Guardian only showing me. Right? Right? I found out now that they believe now I now start to play, so breath. I didn't learn yet how to pull in as much breath as you can and then let it out gradually. I didn't learn that yet. So I trying to keep the note and I go in like this with the trumpet, the cornet, and I go with cornet and trumpet the same thing. Just a different name and a little different. It's sung in the same way. Right? And I go in like this and they feel a style. I catch in my tail and they feel a style. So they put me anywhere. They get some buns and sweet drink after Catholic. But the next thing was Catholic, was hymns in June, Corpus Christi. Right? So I start playing in the band now. I playing, got really I had to fast forward this thing now. So one day, the major called me aside. He's a white man from England and a big blue eye and thing, and he Irish. Right? He say, your tone rotten. Now I now start to play now. I know nothing about tone. By tone he mean blowing sweet or just playing the note. Right? He say your tone rotten. He said, listen, all you have a radio? I say, yes. He said, turn your radio to Spanish station and listen to those Spanish trumpeters. Listen to Cyril. Cyril is a local Spanish, his brother is a local. His brother playing sweet sax, blowing sweet and thing, right? I'll come to that. Right? And then he tell me play long notes. So I gone home, I turn my radio, we had a radio, I turn the radio and I listen to Spanish trumpet. I didn't know about mariachi yet. You know about mariachi? Mariachi is music in Mexico. You hear them trumpet and them violin playing sweet, sweet, sweet. La, 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 da, 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 I started listening to that then. I started listening to Carol playing sax. Major move Carol from clarinet, E flat clarinet to sax. Clarence playing sweet, I don't know where. He listened to all them guys on the radio, he listened to local guys and things like that. A guy named Susel Downtown, he's playing a sax like it's the oil. Everything smooth and oily, like it's kind of too oily. You have to rough up something sometime. Right? And this, I started now, they're amazed. If I did hear that before, I'd want to learn to play sax. Yeah, when I leave out the trumpet, right? But I'm glad I learned trumpet first because trumpet harder to learn. Yeah? And partner, I start trying over a period of time. I trying to play the trumpet like a Carol plays the sax. Right? Right? And I start trying doing that on the trumpet. I don't know when guys come back who used to play in the band pass back to take a practice and hear me, they watching me one time and say, you better than Cyril. You better than Cyril. But if I see Cyril now walking along the road and he's going to talk to me, I'm so glad he's talking to me. I always respect him. You know, he give me the start off thing, how to put your lip and thing, go on to and then sometime when I start to play and the breakaway side start playing tunes, I want to fit in with them and studying what to do. Right? So I hear somebody say, I start making second part. In my head, I'm learning the first part, and they say, well, play two notes. Even though I know about chord, we had to learn chord. Keys and minor scale, and all, we had to learn that. But we major writing music you play. He ain't telling me how to put no chord. We catch you on the piano, he chase you. Right? And so on. So he catch me on the piano right there. Go on, get. Well, he shouldn't do that, but he didn't know. That was probably the styling at the time. He should see have an interest and then start to tell me things about piano and how to play, right? And so on. Sometimes that a teacher come teaching solfa music. You know what is solfa music? Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, mi, so, do, re, fa, re, fa. But the major tell me when he come in the band, I shouldn't do that. I didn't know that. And I learned solfa music then. Many years after, I had to learn that when you have to write music without playing it on an instrument and then writing it. You have to know that. A guy, fast forward some years, I'm teaching some people to play, and a guy go on playing for a band, and he comes, say, Mr. Joseph, put the band leader who was with me in Benedict, we finished Benedict now, I just fast forward. Say, he just so gets lip and salt. I say, what? I said, well, he just asked man, but you know nothing about trumpet. I'm surprised you know nothing about trumpet. He used to smoke a lip and salt. Well, before I finished talking, the young fella tell me, can? He said, Mr. Joseph, I couldn't blow for a week. I said, let me tell you all something about trumpet. Also trombone. Anytime pepper go on your lip, salt, Sensodyne toothpaste, any funny thing, you blow a trombone, you play the fool and you take a little thing on the trombone, try to get sound, you blow a sax, you come back, you can't play the trumpet. You cannot play the trumpet. So right now in this 2023, there's a band from Sweden, right? A lady named Gunhild. It is spelled Gunhild, but they pronounce it Gunhild. Carling, instead of darling, you put a C, Carling. I stumbled on this lady playing some things on YouTube there, and she had me listening to her whole night, for a period of time. I want to know how this lady could play trombone so good, like the best trombonist in the world ever. And she also playing trumpet good. How you could do that? Because a trombone player, and you go and interfere with a trumpet, you can play good trombone notes, you know. And when you go and you play you're playing trumpet, you're playing trombone, and you're going trying to play. Hear what? I used to play in a band with a guy. I fast forward now, right? After Benedict, I'll come back to that. This guy playing second trumpet. He can't play first because he's playing clean. When he playing the right note, he playing enough with blending. All right, okay. Right? I go on playing with a symphony orchestra. Symphony orchestra means any instrument could be inside it. Violin, harp. Symphony orchestra mainly violin, and you have to back up the violin. You have to rest violin tune with trumpet and thing backing up. So sometime in history, they bring in trumpet just must to play fanfare, right? Trumpet child song, some kind of fanfare business, but later on, saxophone, anyway. So he this symphony orchestra, well, they call me Dizzy Gillespie. Well, I ain't reached there yet, and I will never reach there, but they like our playing. When they are meeting on that day, because Adventist I am going on Saturday, they come back and they say, well, we have a good trumpeter, boy, I go to play for a local band there, a top police band man playing for them, and I come there, all of them prefer me. By playing a little bit like Carol, but have people doing that already, Bill Ken Thomas, and some other top musician, Heinz Natzner from Germany, Eddie Calvert, and a couple of them other people doing that already, but I didn't know. I just, right? So this guy playing trumpet. I said, all right, well, he kind of very junior to me. One day I going to play in a band, he playing the trombone while I open my eye big. You want to see my eye open real big and pop out my head? I said, but creak or whatever. I said, but you real good on that trombone, boy, listen now. So I know when you playing trombone, when you interfere with anything except the trumpet, right? And you go to play, you can play trumpet and French horn mouthpiece small and thing. I said, boy, pressure, you can't make it, and so on. So I want to know how this lady, Gunhild Garland, could be playing trombones. I ain't talking about a little bit of trombone, you know. You people must go and look for Gunhild Garland and look at her music and things. She play just a closer walk with the boy. I never hear trombone go high, so and come down from quite up there to come. Boy, listen, man, you see that woman? I'm sorry to tell you this, or maybe I'm happy to tell you. But in the next life, I have to be your husband, you know. And if not the next life, well, the next one. Right? The next one. I'll be anybody she want me to be. If she want me to be a little rabbit, a little what do you think that run up and hamster or a little coyote or some kind of thing. So I'll be satisfied being that just, you understand? She from this planet, by? I'm talking about me and who's Trevor Joseph, but let me put in this now. She from this, I wonder which planet she from, boy. I forget it out. With a good bit of struggling and wrestling with a bear, struggle like you are wrestling with a bear or a lion like Samson, and I figure it out. She's a witch. And she could turn thing in soup boiling and things, she could turn that with her hand. She could like Mark, remember Mark from Mark? He drinking soup from my finger, pulling up the soup, she could do that. For that matter, she must be not from this planet. She must be the worst trombone player in the new planet they find there. But it be Jupiter or one of them planets. Yeah, boy. Yeah, well, maybe if I can't be her husband in the next life, I'll go try for the next one. Right? So coming back to this thing, trombone, and so on. You cannot, the guy tell me, same young fella was teacher, and now he playing for a band. Some years ago, right? A brigade I used to train, right? He said, Mr. Joseph, write a tune for me. I said, what I say? He said, right, now is the hour. I said, but I ain't hard. And I take my thing and I start to write it. He's telling me the leader of the band, who was a soup, the guy who I like to hear play sax and thing, and he arranged and he just had to play. And the tune and write it down. He's very good on it. He thing, right? But I just, I just sit down right there and I write it. Right? And I realized I had to learn that lucky thing because I went for exam a certain time. And here were one of the questions. Right? They ask a different thing, but this one is accumulation of what you should know. Say, you see this piece of music here? Find the timing key signature. The time signature. Find what key it in, a key signature. Right? Add an answering phrase and add embellishments. And they have a change key in that way they give me there. I smile because already you're playing guitar and interfering with the keyboard in church and things, buying chords and things. Right? I smile, start to whistle. One of the persons who observing the exam come up say, no. Just put your finger in your ears and hum very, very easily and you will hear everything. Well, I learned that there. I look it up, man, I say, right, I add an answering phrase and I bring it back to the first key. Right? And I add embellishment because man used to listen to Mexicanos. Remember I tell you I used to listen to Mexicanos? Tijuana Brass and Mexican band and thing, how Spanish they do, Spanish just how they sing, they just sing in the instrument, they play the feelings into the instrument. Well, I Mexicanos. Right? I mariachi man. I could, in order to play Mexicanos, yeah, Mexicanas, whatever, you have to practice a fast vibrato. When you need it, you could use it. If you don't need it, right, you're playing some sad thing and they want you just don't leave out that, you could leave out that. But you can't bring it in if you never practice it. I Major Dennison, I'm so glad he entered my life in St. Benedict's College, right, and so on. So, I am, right, so one day, I got a little senior now, and Major not there, and we jamming. By jamming, we mean we playing, the different people, we playing and they beating with them and thing, the breakaway side. A guy coming with a pan, hat, a redskin guy, kind of Syrian, kind of white guy, he coming with a thing, right? And we beating him, we backing him up, boy, and he put on the pan to go and eat something. And the next thing he ran back inside, I pick up the pan and I start to beat the solo pan, the soprano pan, tenor pan. Right? And I start to beat everybody, I popping out the head with trumpeter could beat pan. It's something like this. Most panmen can't play trumpet. They might have in between who could play piano, keyboard, in between, right? But usually they could play pan well, but they ain't know about trumpet and sax. Trumpet man don't play pan well. I used to be beaten in a band in the district where I was living when I was about 14 years old. I beaten pan down there and thing. So when they drop the pan, the execution calypso at the time, lang lang ding ding dang dang ding dang dang de do de da lang lang ding 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 dang dang de do de de lang de do bo de ba de la. Well, and one of the first guys I know used to introduce something called modern. Pa, 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 that kind of pain. And anyway, I used to call it flick because I didn't know the thing in pan, right? Incidentally, I should say this, the pan side I used to beat for the orchestra, a small orchestra. It had a guy named Clyde Finley. We used to call him Johnny Cool. Well, right now when you're looking at pan competition, you see everybody beating and jumping around, gallery, we just call it, well, antics, and jumping around, and all kind of thing they're doing. They didn't used to do that then. Clyde used to do that. Johnny Cole used to do that. I watching him, a little fella, I watching what he doing, Fast forward a little bit. When I go to play for next band in the next district, I was the star in the band. It's only antics. If I'm going to hit a note on the right side, I go to the left and I come back, bang! The whole crowd watching me. I play in about two other bands, and I used to start in the band from all them antics, and then by that time I had done learn to play guitar, and I had a little idea about chord placement and playing within the chords, right? Playing things within the chords and so on, right? Me going back to Benedict's now. When I was about 15, I remember something in between here. When I was about 15, inter-college football, we call it intercol. The year before that, Major was there, the band go and the band playing waltzes, right? Major is a white man, he from England. He make the police band popular, like they playing calypso and playing different things, so I heard. As a matter of fact, somebody say, well, he get prestige because he was white. Well, television channel years ago, they play some things. When he was in the band, he said he had sweet trumpet. 1969, I went in the police band for an audition. Right? I stayed there a little while and they playing with them guys and they telling me how to drop off that vibrato. I said, what? I ain't tell them nothing. You have to drop off that vibrato. Drop off that vibrato. It has some people around there telling you mustn't play vibrato on trumpet. It's stupid. That is so stupid. Right? You could hear, even in church, forwards and church, a man blowing a sweet tenor sax. I walk up to him and I say, sweet sax. He said, what you say there? I say, sweet sax. And he tell me, don't play so. I say, well, that's how you have to play. I say, you know what? You know what's going on there? One trumpet just enter violin or even sax. They don't want sax. A whole sax man told me that. I didn't know that. He said they didn't know. A man named Adolf Sax invented the sax. And when the violin hear it, they say it's blending well with violin. Not a blending well. It's taking the show from the violin. It's supposed to be a blowing violin, and so they don't want it in the band. So when trumpet come in the band, they probably don't want trumpet to play no sweet trumpet. Just play ta 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 something like that. Different if you do it, everything is violin now. I played in this symphony orchestra going back to that part there. And we had to go to play for a music festival. I asked the guy that I don't have my own band running in the church, you know. And there's people in the church here, you know, not in the church. People always take an exam and thing. Right? I said, who chose that? I did test speaking. So which very proudly say Steel, the man named Steel. So we chose that. I said, my mind, well, you're very smart, but that's what you're going to choose. You know why I say that? Because it's a violin tune with trumpet backup. We had to sit down and rest for a whole set of time and then come in and just play a little thing and we done play. You have two trumpets, a trombone, and two saxophone and a clarinet. Right? Clarinet are blend when I the violin. They like it. They like clarinet because it can show off more than the violin. Right? I don't like violin, and my major didn't like violin, but I like violin. Violin has its place, right? And so on. And we go in for the festival. I say, all right, when you reach any music festival, you may have heard me say that get some ideas sometime. When we reach any festival, we passing by, we practice and we passing by our next practice room. Yeah, one set of sweet violin, a violin band, music, sweet, everything perfect. We choose something kind of difficult, a little piece of jazz in it. I can't remember what it song like. Yeah, we chose, and they choose a symbol thing, minuet in G, something like, oh, minuet in G go again. Da 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 da. Well, you know that song, right? Well, that guy is smart, top violist in Trinidad. He, a young fella, his father used to run the violin school in south of Trinidad. He's smart. He chose a simple tune where everybody could play together. So when I hear them, a couple of my band members, I say, we ain't going to beat them, you know. Old band members say, hey, you're nobody. I don't know. I was in church. I go to plenty music festival. I listen to churches have got good musicians, right? They can't play things from outside, experiencing calypso and things, right? And so on, right? I say, no. He said, you don't know about this thing. I said, right, what? A Chinese man come up. We say Chinese man here. Chinese gentleman walk up. And he just bend his knees and shake his head. You know, when they announce the result, he's the adjudicator. And exactly what I say, he just changed words. He say, you all chose a tune a little too ambitious for you. They beat me by much, but when I was discussing that while they were practicing, a guy tell me, we are professionals. Anthony Walters is not professional. Anthony Walters whether is a professional trainer, if he's still around, he's a professional, and he gets some other professionals, and they just have to play clean and sweet. Right? So I tell the guy, they're not just judging individuals here, you know. They're judging how well we play as one, as a band. That's what they're judging, and he say nothing. Well, after that, right, the man come looking for me to come and join a band, you know. You feel they don't know nothing when you're in church. You don't know. I tell you, church people will be taking exam, especially Adventist church. Right? You're always taking a music exam and so on. Right? You're getting encouraged to do it and that kind of thing. Right? So, all right, Dr. Benedict. Dr. Benedict. I talk about Intercol. Intercol, at time Major I was playing waltzes, but he didn't grow up with the culture in Trinidad. Even here he get the police band popular and he Benin and he had them playing sweet trumpet and playing. Everybody talking, Denison. Well, the next year he wasn't there, he leave school. He get discouraged and he leave. And children always leaving school every year, he had to start back the band. And I and the trombone man gone in the pavilion, the stand with everybody. Intercol mean inter-college football. Benedict was the top team in Trinidad and Tobago that they get trained by Brazil and so on. And you hear me in the stand there. If you were there and you hear a trumpeter in the stand there, all right. So that band, he came looking for me after. He used to run a big band. By big band, one of the lectures I gave us said something, I didn't make it clear. Big band in the States for foreign mean all the instruments, saxophone, trumpet, and whatever else. Symphony mean violin and plenty other things. Right? A guy named Billy Vaughan used to have violin and thing in the band and playing sweet sax and trumpet and thing, right? In Trinidad, if we say brass band, we mean trumpet and sax and everything. I say brass band. Anyway, right? So he come looking for me, want me to play. He had a top trumpeter for me, police band used to play. That man went to the States and he had bachelor's in trumpet and he's real good. And he will volunteer information. If I ask him, he wouldn't play higher. You have to pay or nothing. Right? And they find I better than more. I can't be better than more. They just had to take a lot of exam and things. I taught a brother to play. He playing just like me. He playing good and thing. I playing sweet trumpet Mexicano and he follow me. Right? And I had to tell him when they tell him how good he played. I said, listen, stay humble, because police band people have to be taking exam and thing every year. Not just exam, you have to be reading music and thing. Anyway, I must see when I make one practice with the band, that's why he's saying so one thing. Buddy Watkins, he dead now. Some years now. So Benedict, I was saying, 1965, at 15 years old, inter-college football taking place. Benedict was the best in Trinidad because they were trained by Brazil. Right? And you hear a trumpet in the pavilion. Pavilion, we have the grandstand here. Everybody knows the world know what pavilion. Right? What is this? Right. And you hear and the crowd, the big set of thousands of people in front of you will answer, aha, aha, papana, papana, pa, papana, trombone, pa, papana, trombone, papana, pa, papana, beating rhythm, clacking, iron, all kind of thing. I tell you, iron is the best rhythm in the world, the hottest rhythm in the world. It involves with pan. I forget to say that. We're not talking about pan. The main rhythm for pan should be iron. The drum set mustn't cover the iron. Somebody think the drums is doing and what kind of cutting in between. Some of the iron must do it some kind of thing. Right? That what should happen. Right? Iron And while that taking place, and the crowd bawling, oi, oi, tiki tung, ting, oi, oi, tiki tung, ting, and you hear a trumpet in the stand, you can't see the guy, was me, eh? If you were there in 1965 or you hear about it and you hear a trumpet man in the stand there, ta 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 ha ha papa tiki tiki ta. I didn't know double tongue in it, but ta 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 ha pepe de pedo pepe de papa na papa na was me. I and Sheldon McLean, the trombone. I started tremble. A man who will lift fire and put me on the back. Joe Fly, we used to call him Joe Fly. And he come, stoop down, and I go on the back, and from on top there I blow him. Well, the next year, something happened and I couldn't come to school. They sent Reginald Renrick. Reginald Renrick used to play in the band before he started teaching Benedict. They sent Reginald Renrick to tell me to come back to school to bring back the band. You know. Well, I wasn't quite ready yet because I didn't learn to play guitar yet. The place chord, where how your hand should move on a guitar. I didn't learn that yet, but I know something that some people I know because I've been exposed to pan, I've exposed to listening to bands and copying bands. I play in the trumpet part and that kind of thing. So at time, I had a friend named Ivan Samuel. Now I come senior in the band. I'm going back to Benedict's band now. I come senior, so the major didn't leave it. He had me going around checking guys who coming up how they're reading the music. And I had this guy, friend Ivan Samuel, he a year older than me, but he joined the band late. And I go in to check on what he's doing, and I just ask him, they have chat on the wall, saxophone chat, and nobody understand that. Stop to figure that out. You have to already know the saxophone to figure that out. So I ask him for the finger in for the sax. Right? And he showed me the finger. He showed me the finger in. Me show the finger in, boy. Well, from there, I had the band keys. I come in the evening, I taking out sax, and I trying to play like Carol Gonzalez. Carol High, he ain't dead yet. I hear if he dead. Everybody who plays sax, after you hear Carol playing sax, he used to play clarinet. Everybody want to play like Carol except Trevor Joseph. Trevor Joseph, I find telling himself he want to be individual. He don't want to song like nobody. Well, everybody want to song like Carol. Carol songing like people. And then I meet up Carol after I meet Benedict. I said, our band used to be playing things like No More. The sax band, he said, Die Billy Vaughan. Like 2 alto and a tenor, you hear there, no? Well, that helping me arrange later when I arrange thing, 2 alto and a tenor, that's the best arrangement. I don't know why they call alto sax. Because alto sax and the trumpet in the same age. So you could play a trumpet first string and second trumpet and then have a trombone. Well, boy, right? And so on. So I used to come back in the evening and set up the sax. And I'm trying to play like Carol. I'm starting it up. When they're teaching people to play sax, they teach them from the wrong place. The hardest note to make on a sax is them low notes. The hardest to make a note to make on a trumpet is the high notes. They starting saxophone players and low note, start them on the octave, the high, right? That song got low, I think, but start them up there and then they start learning to go up to now a problem going low on a sax, like down to B, quickly going down to B and B flat. I have a sax going down to A and going up to F sharp. I didn't know that until anyway. So I go in and one day the regular saxman who they did boil down to he the main saxman and the next guy playing tenor. And end up with Trevor Joseph, Trevor Tobas on sax, and Trevor Calendar on tenor sax. Trevor Calendar playing for a band in Trinidad and Joy Lewis. He'd be playing, right? Well, boy, and one evening late when I practicing the sax playing, blowing in the wind and playing April Love and so on, trying to play. I blame Trevor sax and Trevor sax, he running over and he watched me say I thought it was Carol. Well, he did. I rank he gave me there, boy. I was singing like Carol playing slow, but I can't play it over. David, all right. I've been there, I can't play them. I'm up to now, I can't play all of them things yet. Because anytime I practice sax too much, I can't play trumpet. Right? And so on. One night I take a trombone, fast forward, and I crusade. Well, a crusade, I evangelistic or Adventist or something. And I hear this singing a thing, and the bass is strong enough. I tell the guy who run anything, I still have a trombone here. I could play a trombone part. Pa 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 pa. When I done play that about 2 stanzas of that, and I rest on that trombone, I kept playing trumpet only the preacher watching man, he blow the trumpet and he watching me with that, fighting to play that forcing and after a little while trying, while the trumpet lips are the trumpet lips start to find back with the high note and them is right? And so on. So so I talk about the intercal thing, right? I come talk about the exam, right? And so on. Trevor Joseph, but I could go back before Benedict. I started in Benedict. When Major catch me playing something by ear and he coiling with me, I was already playing mouth organ with that. You see, every time she called it cutting off. Yeah, I get interrupted again, so here I go again. I went back to before when Benedict. He went back the tape. Trevor Curtis Joseph was born on the 29th of May, 1950. I'm told was a Whit Monday. Maybe I was supposed to know because I was there in the hospital bed and so on. Right? So when I was about 6 years old, I know that because of the Calypso. A person who Mighty Sparrow won with Gene and Dinah and he run road match too. Won the road match too. A guy over the road, he could be about 10 years older than me, maybe 6 years older or whatever. Right? He had a mouth organ. And he wouldn't give him a blow in the mouth organ. They tell him, well, he had asthma and thing. And they felt then an asthma was contagious, whatever. But to save me, and they had a guy living next door named Sonny, a brother named Carl, Mr. George and Miss Nellie, a red man. And they wouldn't give him a blow in the mouth organ. So when I came back from my grandparents, by my parents for holidays, Christmas time, I asked my father for a mouth organ. When we reached by the store, all mouth organ fell out. I heartbroken. They say one store, Kisto. So we have a ping pong, so I said, all right, I got to take that. As I reached home the night, I started playing Jingle Bell and thing on the ping pong. A ping pong is a vibratone, a small vibratone, toy vibratone with 10 notes. What is a vibratone? A vibratone is some steel bars, right, on top of a little thing made like a kind of triangular business. Plong, 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 as opposed to a xylophone. Xylophone is wooden bars, right? Okay. So Daddy said, what? Look, he playing already. Next year I'll get him mouth organ. Well, when I come a big man, I ain't waiting I know next year to buy something for my children. I learned from that. So I had to wait till the next year, in 1957, I got an Echo Super Vamper mouth organ. And I reach home with it now. Next day I'm trying to play mouth organ and I can't. But I was done tuning. Alphonse, where I was living before, used to go and get oil used to come in quarts. Car oil used to come in quarts. Used to gather that, burn them and tune them, build a stand and call me to come and beat. I was the only person who used to call them. I could go there and beat them, pam, pam, poo, pam, 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 poo, or whatever. He teaches me to beat, I will beat. The only thing, when I make my own, I was done making my own when we moved. Where this happened in 1957, 1956, when I wanted a mouth organ, now 1957. I had to do my own. I tried my hand and I ended up doing it good. But I didn't know bass had to go on the left side. That's the only mistake. I put the bass on the right side when I started learning to play mouth organ. I hold it just for the bass on the right side. If I had to play a mouth organ now, the same thing I will do. Bass on the right side. Right? But anyway, that time we going through a crowd and play Ventus business song on the beat. We on the home hotel. We on the home hotel. And I had a mouth organ I borrow and I started carrying them. People started, what? They don't know I could do that? I also learn any mouth. Anyway, right? So 1957 I get the mouth organ and the next day I'm trying to play and I can't get it. I'm trying to play a tune. I keep playing a few notes that I could get over and over until I run out of breath and I pull up and that was the note. So you have to pull up too? Don't make joke. Well, they're dead in my hand now. I learned to play mouth organ when I was 7 years old. I learned to play mouth organ. This outside of the box now, but I only learned to play that when I was 7. I learned to trim. Scissors and comb, trimming people. Right? Trimming everybody, and then I had to pay. The Baba tell me, you could trim yourself and show me 2 mirror and things. I started to trim myself from then. That trim you see I have on there, I trim myself there. Right? So I learned to play. They had a song, we want a penny to buy mango rose and mango whatever. Give me a penny to buy. Well, I learned to play that the first thing. Then it had a calypso, attention, listen everyone. Beware sparrow have a gun, he walking and he shooting all over town. Well, I learned to play that after I play mouth organ now. They show me how to vamp now. The same guy, they show me how to vamp now. You pull him mouth organ and say, I can play mouth organ now, right? And so on. Before I went Benedict, right? Alphonse is a guy who impressed me a great deal. Alphonse dead now a couple of years now. I met his wife a day. I knew his wife was a little girl. Big sister was Mary. They liked Mary. She never gave me nothing. But anyway, the girls like they used to have more sense than boys when they were around them age. Right? And the mother as well warned them and all kind of things. Right? And she tell me, well, Alphonse dead. And I say, you didn't know Alphonse was a genius? Like she surprised. I say, Alphonse was a genius, not only art and craft and thing too. Right, we learned some art and craft, making little chop, putting corned beef tin for the engine and different things. I learned that from Alphonse. I learned to make top. My father couldn't buy top. You know, that top, a thing like like a disc around, anyway. And I go cutting guava branch and thing and start carving it out. And Alphonse will have what they call a tenor pan, a soprano pan. They didn't know better because men singing. The men who invent the pan now, when they're singing, singing all up there, since it's high for the man, they call it tenor. He's singing tenor. Well, I'm not tenor. When a female sing that thing, female singing quite up there. Little boys, years ago in band with Handel, and you know Handel is a great music. They used to be little boys before their voice changed to sing soprano because their voice had changed yet. Right? So, right? So Alphonse will have this pan there. And he'll call, come and learn something. Come and learn. He'll tell him to learn the latest calypso, learn something. The only person who used to go there was Trevor Joseph and Trevor London. Nobody else interested, not even my brother, and nobody interested in Trevor Joseph at that time before I went Benedict. When I went Benedict, I done beating trumpet. When I was 12 years old in Benedict, starting to play trumpet, I didn't build pretty tone yet. That before Major tell me, have a radio? I told you about that. So we have something we call parangin in Trinidad, because talking to the world. Parangin means at Christmas time, we get our wood from Venezuela. Who parangin are called paranderos. And there's something called paranda. I ain't sure what I mean, right? Christmas time about I do one song which is a parang song with I Maria, and you go on my channel listening to it, that's a parang song. So I go around with a set of guys in the sports club and we beating rhythm and thing and singing any calypso, anything come to your mind, Valerie, anything. And I say, I feel to go home for the cornet. I say, go home for it, I go home for it. You know, going on, you know what you hear about the Pied Piper? Well, I just leave nobody down, no cliff or nothing like that. I was the man, the 12 years old, I in front. And anything they tell me to play, I pick up skills that night, I play and they beating rhythm. By the way, a old guy who can't even what's your name? I said, Trevor. I said, is Trevor John? I said, no, it's be Trevor. Trevor John is a man who used to run a band, a big band, trumpet and sax and trombone and different things. I said, no. So when I gone back to school after holiday, I hear somebody telling the guys from my next district, the top guys in the band, they say now he only was controlling a team in Forest Reserve boy and all the district boy. And the guy turned to me and he was controlling a thing in Faidabad and he district at Benang Mayor in shape, kind of way. Right? And at 12 years old I doing that, I in front. Understand? And that kind of thing. So coming up the road, right? I see a pan by the road. in the next district living by my grandparents. I find a stick, and I find in hang down your head Tom Dooley, and I playing whatever I could play on the pan. I advented someone riding a bike, jump on my bike and said, get home, that's what you do, beat pan. My grandfather didn't beat me though. He was a musician, a sulfur musician. I ain't not nothing. I had a band around there, you'd be playing some nice thing. I understand the band went to Germany. They sell all the pan, they buy trombone and trumpet and come back playing band called the Bonaparte Brothers. One of their two now playing on the trombone when the guys, when I start going by next time, the fellas are music man, they tell me, pa 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 Bonaparte Brothers. Right? So, right. I passed the exam to go secondary school now. In secondary school, I joined the band. Right? And the things that happen. Somewhere I talk about learning to play guitar. Well, one of the times I have a cousin named Glenn Campbell and David Campbell. They learn from small in the Adventist Church, and they learning all the parts of all the song. And David was a boss in public speaking. I learned from him. I end up preaching and thing afterwards, and I observe how we asking why, when, what, asking them and answering those questions. Glenn, both of them genius in music and thing, right? And one day, and Glenn got to realize, well, I can't play chords like he. I now learning and things, so they start to get, he and a brother of mine started to give me mutiny. They know they're calling me the best trumpeter ever passed through Benedict. Not only the best trumpeter, I know trumpeter passed through Benedict also play sax and trombone. And could have, right? And when I come out from there, I could teach fellas to play sax and thing because of what happened in Benedict, right? And have a good tone. A carol tune, right? Bye. So we a little fallout with family, and me a quarrel and thing. And then he say, Trevor can play squad. I can play squad. Them didn't know I can play squad like hey, anything play on the radio, he could find it, you know. He and his brother, you know. I could just go to his brother David and start playing this. And okay, and he one time, he finding whatever chord it is, you know. I come with the tune, you know. I can't do that yet, in a way. Some of those tunes I had to go on. A guy when I was in Cayman Islands, he come and he asked me to do, you will never walk alone, he want me to do that for him. There are some funny chords, eh? I had to go online and find what chords they're using, just in case I go and do something else. And find out what chords they're using. But Glenn and them, he say, Trevor can play chord. But then, you know, his other cousin, Fitzgerald Campbell, taught me to play guitar. He used to come down by me, he leave a guitar by me, an electric guitar, and he coming down with a guitar, and every day he like my sister. But I didn't know, that is their business. And he come in and he picking, and I see teaching me how to play strum. Then we going up. They used to have a band called Combo long time. Right? There's guitar, drum set, congas and rhythm and thing. Right? Two guitars and one picking, one strumming. Well, Fitz had a little combo. We going up by Jap. Jap is a Chinese, 3/4 Chinese kind of guy. Jap playing bass, well I get to understand bass someday. Guitar bass. Right? Fitz teaching me to strum and he picking double string. And when he was teaching me, he said, Trevor, Glenn and them can't pick. They could only strum and they had to and then and strum. He said, I want you learn to pick too. So he started teaching me to pick. Play the scale and how to pick. Use 4 fingers. And then when I pick up a guitar, I ain't this big guitar man and I do so I use my 4 fingers. I could pick double string. Right? You belong to my heart and thing. Gang, 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 gang. Right? That kind of thing so. And so on. Time I go on fast forward some years, I playing in a band, we going to Tobago. And it's 2 guitarists and a bassman and keyboard and thing. And when we resting, I pick up a guitar and I start to play at the cross and double string. Bang, 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 bang. They open the big, say, you're playing double string, boy? Are you playing double string? Let me go back to where I was now. Where was I now? So, I remember where I was just now. Oh, Glenn. So they say he say I can't play score. The brother tell him kind of shut up and thing. They didn't know I used to play for a combo. I learned the year with Michelle. Ba, 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 ba. I never learned that unless Pitch didn't teach me the chord for that. Boots are made for walking. Right? To Serve With Love. A couple of other tunes I can remember. I come in and Fitz picking. And I remember, he teach me, and so that soaking in my head. Right? And so on. That a calypso Rose used to sing Fire, Fire in My Wire. Aya, ba that was it, yeah. And the bass, boom, boom, bing, bang, boom, boom, bing, bang, boom, boom, bing, bang. I never forget that. Right? Incidentally, I remember something, I'll have to slip it in here. When I was already playing, go far forward to the college band, I'm in the district now, and a group, I forgot what they call them, a lodge group, walking in the street and playing music, a band playing and they walking. And a trumpeter, they playing a song, I see a light, I see a lighthouse, amen. I see a lighthouse, amen. I see a lighthouse shining in glory. I see a lighthouse, amen. Our religion called spiritual Baptist, they sing that plenty. Well, boy, a trumpeter gone out with what we just call a solo. The chord's still running and everything, and he comes, I never forget that. I good thing in my head, I gone in school and playing that. And every time I practice in trumpet, I must play that. Right? That's the kind of, we're talking about counter melody and thing. You want to be hearing the tune in the background still. You're still hearing, this is Gun Hill Garland Band. You'll be still hearing it. You could follow the tune in the background. When I'm pan men doing thing now, pan away when I used to be pan. They didn't know better. They're very good. They used to play these two verses or play a verse and invent something else for a whole verse. Different to the tune. They're doing that again. Judges used to stop them and say, no. Well, they started to do that. They playing one verse, and they, what the hell they playing there, man? That's what that jazz thing. Bang, 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 and one set of bullshit they playing, right? And nobody can tell them nothing, right? Well, I am. Where was now? Glenn. So then I used to play with Fitz. I didn't baptize any church yet. I playing, I go in, I strumming and start learning until I start looking for my own chords. I find the chord for that myself and I carry it to Fitz for correction. That's me to arrange for a pan side. I say, all right, and I get the chords and I show Fitz. My teacher, or Glenn too. How would I? And they go correct me, they go tell me, yeah. See, in the anthem, if Glenn was there, I might not do something. You see, an idea came to me, move to the major. Before the part in the anthem, I move to the major. Right? I move to the major there. I did a mistake. I do that willfully. Because it have a part of the bass make there that Trinidad thing. Bim, 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 bum, bum, bim, bum, bim, bim, bum, 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 pam, pam, something like bim, 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 bum, do, da, da. I tried to put in a run there because it's a Trinidad thing. So I did that willfully. Right? And so on. Glenn might have tell me, no, don't go there. When Clive Zander I play it for him and he reach that part, he do so. Like he either feel, well, I shouldn't do that or it's wrong. It's wrong. I a composer, right? I to a point, right? And we're talking about composing and all that to a point. Then you see people walking around with a music book. Always a music book, and people that feel they know the most music, they might know the less music. They're reading other people's music. That's all they're doing. I used to do in the college band, reading other people's music, right? And major music, and so on. There are some people that have no qualifications in music. But somehow they figure out things. They figure out things and they're moving like they have qualifications. David, the same cousin I tell you about, he went musical training college, and the other lady named Trevor Joseph, maybe in charge of the music, playing piano, and she see where he reached. He could play anything in a kind of way, and he kept in within the genre. And she started teaching him how to change chords. If you're singing, I say singing, because if you're playing instrument, you could just play the new note and you change key. But when you're singing, you have to give the singer, you have to help the singer get into the key without making mistake. You're playing in C, and you want to go in, you want to start playing the same tune in D, right? Or let me say in D, because you have different, he will go through different chords and end up in the next key, and you might even know when he start to play it again. I will know, but, right? And so on. So if you want to go, you go to the dominant of the new key. You're playing in C, you go to A7. You drop in A7 and then you're going to D. And if people singing, and tell me used to be doing that, and so they're going up, going up, going up. At time I do a lady that who right, and I play on the keyboard and I play chords, buying chords. I ain't a big keyboard player up to now. I start, and then see it I get higher. I change in key and I going up. Well, David used to be running the band and I didn't know. I thought it was me. But he was the man most knowledgeable, and his brother Glenn in moving in chords, moving from one chord to which chord to go to, and something that I sit down and try to find the chord. Them grew up in that. I grew up in something else. So they might be able to beat me in orchestration because trumpet part and sax part sink in my head and pan, right? So I end up playing, I said, okay, I'll go, and I start to play hard things. I am waiting for them. I start to play Stand Up for Jesus. Da, 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 da. Well, I make something with that change three keys. I learn the double tongue now. Well, I separate the sheep from the goat there. The men from the boys. Right now, don't tackle me again. So he calls me a good friend and thing, and go by, he's sending things there. I love my brother Bevan, them form band, leave me out and thing. All right, no problem, right? And so on. So coming up, right, Alphonse, when I was about 13 or so, at Carnival time, I done playing in the next band, The band coming, the field band coming on the road, they playing a song. I watching the guy and what he doing. He, I could be the tenor pan. Alphonse used to have a pan there. Right? He know that. I'm begging him for a beat. He said, no, you have to join the band. Well, I went to join the band. They tell me I'm too young. I can't join the band. So what I used to do, I used to go to Alphonse now. Alphonse go and join the band. And I'll go and beat rhythm. Right? A little fella beat some rhythm there for me. And a pan come down from the capital in tongue, Port of Spain, and lean up on the wall against a wire fence. And the pan singing like a lark, every note singing. That was the new styling of the pan. The styling of pan they have now called fourth and fifth. You're going up one side in fourth and fifth, and I think you're going back on the fourth, and you're going up in fifth on the side and the thing, and the high note right opposite in front of it. Well, I find all where they beaten. I put two pan stick and I gone by the wall and I beaten the pan. And one day the vice captain Johnny Cole, the man with the antics, he come and he listen to the band. He see me beating everything. James. He call the arranger. He say, look, this man beating everything. Everybody in the band come and they hear man are beating everything. And so I get in the band. That's how I get in the band. I never get in the band. I had to beat for the first music festival and I beat in the scene. One out of it, and if it has so then you fix it. Well, I noticed now he fixing pan. I remember I used to tune things fast forward a couple of years. Right? This guy lent me a double tenor, 2 pan, right? I end up a double tenor man in different band a beat afterwards, right? And we gone, I teaching this group, this is cadet group, and I decided to put a pan in it. So we're going to play for a function, but it's a free thing. So next day when I go to borrow the pan, the guy say, hey boy, the captain, the leader of the band come and he pong up them pan. They must feel we make money and he get or whatever. Well, boy, I tell you, lend mate, he say, boy, the pan I go there, 3 notes playing. I say, give me it. I carry that home and I fix that with a carpenter hammer. It's not carpenter hammer to fix them thing, you know. It's a heavy hammer. I used to watch James when he tuner. When I used to be beaten pan there, going back, forward and back, I go back now. I used to be there with the tuner. That time they didn't have nothing to electronically check the notes if it's correct, you know. You have to listen with your ears, and I with the tuner. All 12 o'clock in the night. Basically the hardest thing to tune. And he asked me, I didn't know. I tell him, yeah, I didn't know it. Go up a little bit. I there with him. I used to tune cups and things, right? So this piece of experience come up on me there now. Right? If you pong the note down too much, you run, you have to turn the pan over and pong it back out. Not too much. And I fix that note, and when I get that guy, I show that guy, say, but you something else, boy. But you fix that, boy. Yeah. So I come up now, I start to go Benedict, I come back to starting to go Benedict. Right? I tell you about intercall. Right? Everybody coming by the. This time, me, you know, they calling me the best trumpeter ever passed with Benedict. If my brother tell me that day, who just play trombone well, I say, nah. I say, is your brother Cyril, and he got me a kind of way. They hear me on scouting and thing. I went to a show called Scouting for Talent, where I play a trumpet. I put on the trumpet, I pick up the sax, play No My Papa. Then I pick up the double tenor, everything, and that kind of thing, so. Right? And the trumpeter in the band watching me. Right? I want to go la dee da dee da da da, like how sax will do it. Da dee da dee da da, and he tell the partner, he tell Carol, use an alternative finger in. If you want to get a certain effect, you have to make use of alternative finger in. Right? I happen to know that, right? And that kind of thing. So Cyril could get a belt or that crown for the best trumpeter. I never hear Cyril Gonzalez make a mistake. And me time you put that 3 months, you used to play quattro and thing home, and me time you put that trumpet in the lip, there's only sweetness coming out. But Cyril can't play sax, and Carol can't play trumpet. Right? So I end up playing sax, not with the band, because the band is major, it doesn't go on and right? But I end up playing sax. Later on in life, I even writing for the sax. Tenor sax, and I had a band running the church, tenor sax and alto sax. I writing music for them and writing myself and a second trumpet and so on. Right? So it's because of that. Right? So he could get a belt, I could get all the belt. Cyril could get a belt for the best trumpeter ever passed with Benedict. I will get a belt for the youngest trumpeter, youngest musician to ever play in Benedict's band. And I could get a belt. Hello, Benedict. If you're listening, I am Curtis Joseph. I went Benedict, right? And people who know me used to call me the best trumpeter. Well, hear what? I play sax. I'm the only person in the band who plays something else other than the instrument he plays. That other guy they used to call Scarface. He used to play French horn and trumpet. Right? I never hear him play French horn. He then moved to trumpet. But I hear about that. Right? A guy will move from reed. From oboe, he going to sax. That reed. A guy, the thing that I put on him mouth, we call a reed, right? And so kind of thing like bamboo there. Carol moved from E-flat clarinet, the same finger like the sax. Carol moved from E-flat clarinet, he only passing and blowing sweet early, and he going major poem and sax. And then I hear what he said, I said, there was the song. So the other sax people used to play the correct note, but they're playing sweet sax, they're listening to nobody. Right? So I could get a belt. Later nobody could beat me with that crown. That I the only person who play sax and trumpet, and I could have played thing on the trombone. I figure out the trombone. I then figure out something, which is the same notes trumpet just play open, trombone just play it open. They are both B-flat instruments. So I assume, because I can't ask nobody major than gone away, I assume when the piano play B-flat, trumpet play in C, right? So I assume that note on the trombone is C. But it turned out I found out later that they calling that same open note you're playing on the trumpet, they calling it, if it's C, they calling that B-flat on the trombone, right? As we on that, when I was about 14 years, a man named Molino, Mr. Molino, he's a parandero. I mean, playing a certain kind of music in Trinidad called parang, 6/8 thing. I found out that I 6/8, right? And so on. Some of them musicians I even know that. He showed me a chord as C and this G. When I go to Para by my cousin Glenn and them playing quattro and thing, he showed me this C, this G. You're making it just like the guitar. It just has 4 strings and the guitar has 6 strings. So you're using the first 2 strings and the G and you're making the, right, what is it? Video size. They're going to cut me off just now. Right? Well, just now before they, let me see when they're going to cut me off. You know they're calling them things differently now. You know why? Because they don't know about transposing instruments. The trumpet is a transposing instrument, the sax, the French horn, and so on and so on. So who decide to call the same thing on the quattro, which guitar making, like, see, the one they making like G, they calling it D. The one they making like C, they calling it G. And somebody decide to write a book. Where they get that information from? It's easier for a person to learn to play a guitar afterward when they tell them this C and this G. Well, they change, and that take over now. Well, anyway, I'm teaching a guy something one day, he come by me and I tell him, no, because somebody teaching him that in a way, right? So anyway, I see the video saying here, the video like the size too big or something like that. So whatever, if I forget anything, I'll either come back in a smaller video and put it in. Oh, I might have to put that there. I told you about a guy when I beaten pan in another district. He from town, he the arranger, and I start arranger. I could have played quite. Right. I have to add this in. I beaten pan in a country band. I beaten double tenor. When the arranger come back, he hear a tune start. I frightened because a little boy and he's a big man. He from town. He must be a virgin. Well, he say he glad that somebody when he not there, they could start something because every day they beating one tune over and over. I pass and I go and join the band. And there was double tenor pack up the man to beat it in town. Right? And he called me aside and he started to show me diminish. The first time I hear about diminish and augmented, that a pan man show me that in a band. Right? At time, years after that, I listened to a band beatnik combo playing and they bring in a keyboard man that he could play real music and they teaching him a diminish and the guy picking up the guitar, how far the notes and the guy said, oh, my finger carried it. I don't know it's C flat, F sharp and A. You could call it right? C flat, G flat and C, E flat. Well, that is the thing, right? And I ain't say nothing because, right, a certain thing, right? And he started giving me the history of Pan. How Pan come out, he was there, right? And he gave me the history of Pan. He chose to give me that. And he tell me it had 3 notes they used to play. Pong, 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 ping, 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 pong, 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 ping, ping, it's like a bugle business. And he start tell me how I come about when they be beating pan in rhythm, no real pan, but they knocking a drum, biscuit drum, and they then end up with different songs. So they realize something. Now, I could identify with that because when I was 12 years old, I told you I was going wrong with the thing, and you're picking up thing by the root to make rhythm, so I could understand how that come about. Then, Ellie Manet, a guy who famous in pan, he says the first person to groove a pan to separate the notes. Nobody had challenged that. They'd already had a guy named Spree Simon maybe doing things. Ellie Manet is my mother first cousin, or my mother first cousin, right? They didn't know that. My mother born Lansno in Toko, and his mother, he born Sansuchi up in Toko side, right? So I had to slip in that, right? So I can't remember anything I like to say. Who is Trevor Joseph? So who is Trevor Joseph? Trevor Joseph is Trevor Curtis Joseph. The same Curtis Joseph all you know from Benedict. Hi Benedict. Hi, right. Something happened here again. Happened here. She called again. 923. Who called me there now? David now is another story. I told you he used to get advice and training from an expert when he was in teacher training college. Well, he used to come down and show me. I bounce up some of the things he used to show me when I doing music study later on. Right? He used to show me how to change into different keys. The Rev, they used to call me Rev. I got a nickname, the Rev. And he'll tell me, go here and do this. From this key, you go here, pass through different keys. He show me run. So there's a 6th run. There's a 9th run. And so on. Right? So, David, thank you. Right? Right? And so on. So, take care now. Right? People of the world. I am the same Trevor Curtis Joseph. Curtis Trevor Joseph. Anyhow you want to put it. All right. I forgot to say some things there. I must add in when I was speaking about Glenn. Glenn, my cousin, is a genius. I said that already. But I started to understand how to make second part and third part. Right? From when I was invited to go caroling with them. By caroling, Christmas time you're singing thing about the birth of Christ and so on. Right? And one lady say, Trevor singing tenor? And she hit me the tenor, that's too high. Too high for me. So I decided to sing bass. Well, they tell me, right, so Glenn will lean over and tell me where's the bass for every song, or they grew up in that. And he next to me, every time the song call, quickly will lean over and give me the bass. Fast forward a little while, I start to understand bass. When I used to be beating pan, bass, they used to play the bass on the note of the chord. They call root position. If it's C, they play C, and things like that. Well, bass, I started to understand bass differently. Like, for instance, while Shepherd was the flock by night and feeding on it. His expert make them bass, you know. While Shepherd was the flock by night, all seated on the ground. The angel of the Lord came down and glory shone around. I started to understand that thing about bass. It will help me in the future. However, right? Whatever we have to do, Glenn used to lean over. He was the harmony man. Time when Bevan, he and I playing, he giving Bevan the harmony part. He part to play harmony part. He give me that too. Right? He's the expert on it, he and his brother. So later on, I trying to arrange a song, just a closer walk with it. A simple tune. And then I playing guitar already. That ain't hard. There's only one diminishing that. And it makes that song good. So he decided now, since you're in charge, you have to do everything. And when I start, I decide now, if 3 trumpets, we didn't know start. So I'll put a mute in the trumpet, right? I'll put a mute in the trumpet. And he will play the, and they will play the 2 trumpets back apart. Well, at a certain point in time, he say, well, nah. In his mind, what you could be saying is, I used to be teaching you part. Do you want to teach me thing now? Right? And in my mind, I could be saying, well, I into orchestration long time. At the time, I trying to teach them what they call tempo rubato. Shall I empty-handed be? That you know, right? But it have a thing in music, you can play behind and go in front and play behind, snatch as a boss of that. Shall I empty-handed be? And they beg the financial job, they be. As I try to teach all of something and the music long time beating pan and thing, they want to take that. Well, they think me choir again. Should I take a shape? Right? So that's about Glenn. Okay. Another thing I have to say is about people trying to figure me out, but they're not Curtis Joseph by? Who is Super Benedict's by? That's Curtis Joseph, yeah. You will like the same Curtis Joseph who beat everybody in 100 meters dash in 1963, come first, right? 100 meters dash. It's the same Curtis Joseph as me, Trevor Joseph, right? So I needed to say that, and I had to end this, thank people for listening, right? And what else? I had something else to say. Let me stop this one. Stop. Oh wait. David also refused to play once, but that was once. The occasion was the church dedication coming up, and that was a thing. The church board meeting and the church board deciding what to play. I haven't been in a military band and know thing about fanfare and so on. They should trust me. But instead, they want to discredit me. Some of them, right? If we are doing music with Berlin, a guy named Berlin now started doing music, and I telling him things. I tell people things on music already and say, Trevor, I never understood that, things about intervals, right? Coming back to Berlin, coming back to the church. So I explained to them about fanfare to signal a special event. The first fella sit down next to me, he said, how much tune you want to play? And they feel I want to take over the show. I want to play plenty things. I said, not tune, A fanfare, I explained them as a fanfare. The drum and just something like that. Right? When I done talk, and they could have a fanfare when they announce the church is dedicated. Whoever announced the fanfare, drum roll and right? And at the end of the service, they could have a next fanfare again. You hear in the Bible about Festival of Trumpets, in the Day of Atonement and things, trumpets are signal. It was only iron trumpet anyway, but I'd get the job done. So I said, so then they turn around and they tell me, you'll play one tune. What tune are you going to play? This is how David communicating now. So I decide now, their usual styling is, they're going to play some kind of sad music, some kind of thing. It's a grand event. And they're going to play some kind of... 1 minute. Sorry. So I decided to arrange a tune, 2 military tunes. I have a song that Jesus loved me. And da 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 da. And I'm mixing that with the next one. Sunshine and rain will nourish the golden grain. And I put an introduction to it. Da 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 da. David Fine. Now he used to be telling me things, right? So he probably fine teaching me things, telling me about things. And I come in to arrange. I was doing that already, I was playing guitar already, things will be coming in my head. Right? Or he was probably sorry after, because after that everything I asked him to lay back in now. But the kind of tunes, so he said, you're playing. What I do? So I had to get a music maestro from the district. Let's hold that to come and back me up. Early now, he'll tell me, Trevor, you know what? He worried about what I'm going to play. He was in the church, but he said, play this, and he showed me some from Open the Gates of the Temple. Open the Gates of the Temple are a nice word, but I have music for that occasion. the kind of music I would have given them for that occasion, I haven't been in a military band under a man who was director of police band and things for years. That would have been memorable, real memorable and fantastic, right? By the way, that's in many years later, I put that as an introduction to a tune. It's playing on my channel, right? So I don't know what to do. Well, I decided to play that. But anyway, the rain on my parade, right? Or the throw sand in my rice, or sparrow sing a calypso, monkey jump up and let go one big poop inside the soup. Well, they poop in my soup. And they used to be pooping my soup in certain things and so on. Because some of them coming up against me, they're jealous, they feel like they play all blowing instrument. That's the thing they have for me, right? But they bring in that time to show the thing, they bring people from somewhere later on in the future, them end up in my band. The time I had a band in the future with 4 saxophones. I didn't get nobody to play trombone. Iron trumpet and a guy with a clarinet. Bass guitar, anyway. Right? So, I had to play this. What happened? They grind me down to powder now, so I had to play that kind of sad tune. So, anytime they hear an Olin thing, they jump in on Olin side. Olin can play by ear. David and the others, 3 others, they could play by ear and they're playing well. Right? When you're playing by music, you're limited to what you write in the music. You have to stop when the singing taking, what a friend we have in Jesus. They're stopping right. They're playing by ear, they put in more things. Right? So anyway, so I am very rich. Very rich. So, yeah, they're always singing, right? But time come now, Olin can play guitar and that kind of thing. And them others can write music, right? And so on. So he gone, and I will remember him, all right, you always singing, playing, you know, let me see what you could do. Let me see what you could do now. I never expect you would be thinking like that. Yeah? You know what I do? Who is Trevor Joseph? I compose 4 tunes. One is an anthem, a kind of handle business. And a sax man, and next time, next choir singing it. Pa pa da do da de da de da ba ma do ba ma di do do di, and he really called, my Lord God, he's a sax man at pa da ba di ba de ba do ba di ba de ba do bi de ba, and he eating up that, right? Country I do a country western, and one of the songs I do was a Negro Swagger. Lot of comment. Well, that on my channel. Well, recently, well, anyway, I put it up on the channel. They didn't sing that. Nobody ever did that before, as far as I know, in the whole church. Nobody never did anything like that before nor after. I used to do a kind of music sometime in the future that nobody then used to. I learned under guys on outside, right? So, yeah, so they went on my parade, and in between they jumping up and then go big poop in my soup, right? And it turned out that I end up doing something, dive with Trevor Joseph. Fast forward a couple years, take the music to the professor of music in the church up in the university. The music written, and he put it on the piano and he started to play. Then he sent for Hazel Top. She could sight read quick. And when she reached and she started to play that, my brother like he froze. He now realized something about me that he didn't know. So, what? And so on. Right? But the way that guy used to, anyway, tell me about dominant seventh. See what that's called C7? I see dominant seventh. Right? And if you check 7 notes from C, do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, T is the 7th. So that is a natural 7th. Right? Some people do understand how you get C7, how you get G7. You get G7 if you're playing in C and you start making a chord from G, B, you're skipping notes and you're making a chord, you're going to end up with T in that key. Dominant 7, David used to be showing me them things. Right? So really, in his mind, and then again, the type of music I was going to come with, a kind of fantastic kind of something. Give you an illustration just now. Right? That, they ain't accustomed to that. Except they get music with that, and they put it on the piano and they start to play some classic from somewhere. But otherwise, I come into arrange, but he and I could arrange. Yeah. Well, next.